focus on the backup, although Tassie have got the extra day's rest having played on Thursday night, and they go back to the Ant House where they are incredibly tough to beat. We've got to give Adelaide some respect. They have been rock solid since Scott Ninnis has taken over from CJ Bruton, but I do expect Tassie to get the job done. Milton Doyle, 15+ points. He's good for that most games. Jack McVeigh, he hits triples for fun. And Isaac Humphries has been one of the best big men in the NBL. Enjoy the game.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
The Tassie JackJumpers have defended the island. Milton Doyle!
This is clutch.
Oh my word! Magnay again swats that one away.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
And the Adelaide 36ers are just slowly turning into giant killers.
And there's some good things cooking in the city of Churches.
There it is. Get up!
Flowers with the finishing touches. For the inbound, but Galloway was ready to hammer it home. The first leg of a Sunday doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL begins in Tasmania as the third-place JJs host the hottest team in the league, the Adelaide 36ers. Tassie went a long way to sewing up a postseason spot with a win in Cairns on Thursday, while Adelaide's won its past four and very much remains in the playoff hunt, but needs a win today. The fans are packed into My State Bank Arena once again, and it's great to have you with us to kick off this Sunday doubleheader. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Liam Santamaria and Kelsey Brown. 3rd and 7th. It's another must-win for Adelaide, Damon.
A must-win here, Joe. The Adelaide 36ers, they need this game. There's no sugarcoating it. The NBL24 is throwing a private party. They only invited 6 teams. And Adelaide, they're trying to crash the party. Liam, it's going to be tough if they lose it.
Well, it is. It's going to be really tough. Meanwhile, for the JackJumpers, big opportunity for them. You want to get 3rd spot if you can, and they have a chance. They've got the Illawarra Hawks nipping at their heels. They've got a big chance today to create a bit of a gap and potentially get that home court advantage for that 3 versus 4 seeding qualifier.
Which would be all important and a great position for the JackJumpers to be in. Of course, Will Magnay, who sustained that injury in Cairns on Thursday night. We think that he's right to go. We've seen him out there. It's not a bad recovery.
Well, it's impressive, really. I would thought he was going to be in doubt for this one because that's a heavy hit, and he was in great distress. You could see he was emotional. He was physically distressed, struggling to breathe, despondent at times, and yet here we are. He's ready to go and soldier on.
So there he is. He's ready to go. No visible padding, but he's going to have to manage that throughout the course of the game. One great thing for the JackJumpers was Jordan Crawford. He found his shot in that win over Cairns, Damon. 6 3-pointers, 25 and 5, and back to some of his best.
I am, as we all know, a massive fan of this little dude right here, Jordan Crawford. He's been in great form the last game. Dropped 25, nice one. I firmly believe there's no one in the league that can stay in front of this man, especially when he's in an aggressive frame of mind. He's trying to find a balance in between playing, I guess, what you would call the Jackie way and a little bit of the Jordan way. But I'm telling you, though, that Jordan way is nice.
It is very nice, and he's so much a part of what they do when they're up and going. The Tassie JackJumpers, they'll need a contribution from him today. Scott Ninnis, of course, the interim coach for the Adelaide 36ers. The battle of the Scots in the coach's chair. He's 7 and 5 as the interim coach. He's doing a great job, Lee.
He's doing a fantastic job. And, of course, it was Adelaide losing to Tasmania in epic fashion that ended the CJ Bruton era with the 36ers and brought Ninnis into the mix, and they've been rolling over their past 7 games.
Olgun Ulich reporting he may well be in the driver's seat for the long-term job, and he's getting the best out of his big man, Isaac Humphries.
He certainly is. I like to call Isaac Humphries Isaac first-team Humphries. He's been sensational. He has brought back the big man basketball. This man can put the ball on the floor, get on the rim. He's very nimble, very athletic. Also great on the defensive end, throwing that stuff out of there at 4 great blocks against the Kings. Loving all of Isaac's work this year. Hopefully he can keep it going tonight.
20 and 11 on Friday against the Kings, and he was a dominant presence down the stretch. He'll be a big presence for them inside the 36ers today. Let's have a look at our starting lineups. Tassie, well, we know what we're going to get when it comes to Tassie and Scott Roth. The same starting lineup that has run out there in all but one game so far this season. And the 36ers, it's a lineup, Liam, that's gone 4-0 since Scott Ninnis went to it.
Yeah, he changed it up, and obviously Nick Marshall, Kyron Galloway. couple of younger guys. There you see Jack McVeigh, who's been very, very consistent over the course of the season. And you're right, he's found a lineup here, Scott Ninnis, that's working. And Trey Kell, don't sleep on the impact of Trey Kell. He has been sensational. He had a donut in the horror in Hobart in round 9, and he's come out, and since then, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists a game.
He's been really balling as Trey Kell. Triple-double in there against the Illawarra Hawks for the Adelaide 36ers. He's doing some great stuff. He's got a big job with that Tassie backcourt this afternoon. Perth and New Zealand to come a little bit later on. A big day over in the West. And we kick our Sunday doubleheader off to close out round 18 with Tassie and Adelaide. JackJumpers 13 and 12 in 3rd spot. And the 36ers 11 and 14 in 7th. Crawford can't get it to go to start. Lee's able to tip it out. And Doyle loses the rock. Adelaide with the longest winning streak of any team in the competition at 4, winners of 6 of their past 7. But they need this because a loss today gets them to 15 losses, and with a relatively poor percentage compared to the teams around them, that won't hold them in great stead as far as the finals mix is concerned. Here's McVeigh working on Cal. Goes baseline and gets it to go. And Jack McVeigh's fired up early.
He will get the crowd involved. That's what Jack does. The very cagey scorer, Liam, Jack McVeigh, just has an array of shots. Bagging Trey down, give him a little bump, a little bit of a step through, if you will, and then the flex.
And the other thing that Jack, oh wow, he gave him the full display there after the bucket. Beautiful stuff from McVeigh. He's patient. So no matter where he catches it, in the block, on the elbows, on the arc, he's patient and he works his way through it.
So early doors at My State Bank Arena. Jack McVeigh has the Jackies on the board. Must win for the Adelaide 36ers as they continue their hunt for the postseason. Tassie, of course, coming off a win on Thursday. Will Magnay out there for the JackJumpers. We'll check in with Kelsey Brown very shortly. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Liam Santamaria with you. Offensive rebound for the Sixers, and DJ Vasiljevic doesn't need a second opportunity.
Well, Scott Roth won't be happy with that. Trying to lay the foundations early in the game and giving up offensive rebounds and extra possessions.
Good pass. Great ball movement, great execution. Very rarely will you see a poor offensive possession by the JackJumpers. They just know who they are as a unit.
Offensive rebounds killed Adelaide early stages on Friday night against Sydney. Vasiljevic leans into Drimic and gets the call.
He's a scorer, Dejan Vasiljevic. He's not just a shooter, he's a scorer. He can give it to you in a variety of different ways. And of course, top 10 in the league in points, 19 a game. Crafty, getting you off balance, getting to the free throw line. He's done a great job this season attacking the rim. And as a result, the defense is on their heels because he can also pull up and knock it in from long range.
And he came out and said, too, for everybody that's sleeping on his playmaking ability, I can also facilitate, make things happen.
Made some big plays down the stretch of recent times. Of course, a couple of injury concerns for Tassie coming into this one. We welcome in Kelsey Brown, who is courtside. Kels, what have you got on Will Magnay?
Hi, team. Great to be on the call with you guys. Yeah, I spoke to the JackJumpers camp about Will Magnay after that huge hit from Taj McCall on Thursday night. He obviously didn't re-enter that game and immediately post went to the hospital. They were concerned about the rib and the lung. They wanted to make sure that they had scans so he could fly with the team, which he did. He's padded up heavily today, and they've said that the biggest issue is going to be the pain management for him.
That's interesting, Kelsey. You got a good look at him during the warm-ups. How did he look like he was moving?
He actually looked relatively good compared to what I thought on Thursday night. I thought it was going to be a big out in this game, but yeah, he seemed to be moving quite well. He didn't seem to be wincing, but it will be something to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, DJ was very, very determined to take Jordan Crawford to the body shop. And Jordan Crawford just picks up his second foul, and in comes Shawnee Mack.
A little bit of something for Scott Roth to work through early stages. Sean McDonald's had a great impact again for the JackJumpers this season.
It's been rock solid. Shooting the heck out of the ball. He's always going to bring effort at the defensive end. But it's an early win for Vasiljevic, and it's an early win for Adelaide. Get Jordan Crawford, one of the Tassie's leading scorer, sitting on the pine in early foul trouble.
Free throw game is something Adelaide are good at. They shoot the second most of any team in the competition and keep their opponents off the line very effectively. McDonald thought about the three. Just takes it inside. Says, I can do a little bit of both.
Great action once again. Shawnee Mack coming off that dribble handoff, turn the corner. You got a decision to make because it's a lob threat. Marcus Lee on the floor.
Nick Marshall going behind the back on Doyle. And now Humphries and Lee, best mates, and Isaac has a little win on this occasion.
Oh, back-to-back possessions for Adelaide. Going to work in the block. Vasiljevic on Crawford here. Really a nothing possession for the most part. Over dribbling. Connor Henry wouldn't have enjoyed it. And then Humphries made something out of nothing as he got his way to the middle.
So 5 foul shots in the early stages for the Sixers. And made all of them. Jackie's trying to eat into an early Adelaide lead as the former Sixer. One of a couple out there for Tassie and Anthony Drimmick. Able to hit the floater.
Liam, they got decisions to make on that ball screen. You gotta commit to something. If you commit to nothing, you're committing to hoping the guy misses a floater.
Vasiljevic from way downtown. Almost had some luck with the roll. Donald scoots it up court. Doyle has it poked loose into the path of Cal. Had Vasiljevic going to the hole, went alone and scored.
Good strong take from Trey Kell. Initiated the contact with Sean McDonald and then made sure he kissed it in off the glass. Geez, he's been great, Trey Kell. Was, as we said in the pregame, had the donut. It was a season worst, maybe an NBL career worst performance that night. They only scored 59 points. But while Isaac Humphries and Dejan Vasiljevic are probably getting most of the press, and Scott Ninnis, of course, Kell has been a massive reason they are all of a sudden back in the playoff picture.
He's sought after signature. Well, Trey Kell, what he can do when he's at his best, just getting his best more consistently might be the battle as McVeigh backs his way inside. Efficient start for Jack McVeigh. He's got 7 on 3 of 3 from the field.
Another patient bucket. He's just gonna get a good shot off every time. Doesn't matter if he's giving up a few inches. Just a cagey score.
He's 4 of 13 against the Taipans, so good sharper start here for McVeigh, and he forces the ball loose as Kell was trying to dribble it in.
Liam, to your point on Trey Kell, has he been this effective because he's playing more of a point guard kind of a role? Because if, say, Adelaide bring in a stud point guard next year, that changes his role if he's around.
I hear you. I don't think they should. I mean, I think it's a huge reason why he's playing well. We saw bits and pieces of it last season at Southeast Melbourne. When they had injuries, they shifted him to that point guard position, and he was highly effective. You know, in Adelaide, you know, we've seen, obviously, guys like Jordan Crawford and Jerome Randall and, you know, diminutive point guards be super successful in this league, but also bigger, stronger ones. Adelaide, as McVeigh misses there, they went to the championship series with a guy, Shannon Shorter, running the point. And I think Trey Kell he's found himself comfortable in that spot. And if you're going to re-sign him, he, Vasiljevic, Humphries have great chemistry playing the roles that they're in.
McDonald up the fourth, leans into the contact and scoops it home.
What a season, Shawnee Mack. I mean, a coach always wants to go to the bench and just have trust in the guy he's subbing in, and his trust factor couldn't be any higher with Shawnee Mack.
Marshall got away with a walk. Humphries underneath turns it over. So tied at 13 halfway through this opening term. Must win for the Sixers. They leave McVeigh alone and he makes them pay.
Timeout, Adelaide. McVeigh's got his stank face on and he's telling the Jack Jumper army all about it. Here's the Harvey Norman replay, wide open. Beautiful execution, and he's going to knock it down more times than not.
So double digits early for Jack McVeigh on 4 of 5 shooting. He had 10 points in the ball game on Thursday night. He's got 10 in the first 5 and a bit minutes here. Jackie's by 3. Of course, Scott Ninnis has been a hot name in Adelaide, and Kelsey Brown caught up with him pre-game.
First time coaching against Tasmania as the head coach. You said it's the only team that you haven't come up against. Is the scout looking a little bit different from last time, considering it was such a heavy loss?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we haven't dwelled too much on that. It was a different time. It's almost a different team, you know, mentally wise anyway. So it is exciting for me, you know, playing against a team that's and a coaching style that I've tried to imitate for a fair part of my coaching stuff as well. So it'll be a great opportunity for us today.
You spoke in the presser after the Sydney game about not being overly happy with the first half, especially giving up those boards early on.
Yep.
Is that something you've addressed for today's game?
Oh, very much so. It's well, I think the most pleasing thing for me about that Sydney game was it was ugly. We had to really grit it out, and we didn't play well at times during that game, but we still found a way to win. So certainly that's a key point. One of my messages today will be one shot only. But look, it's a great opportunity against a very, very good team.
And against the best offensive rebounding team in the competition, that becomes even more important.
And even then, like Scotty Ninnis giving full credit to Scott Roth and said he's even imitating a bit of what he's doing. And like the Jackie Way, Liam, we've heard about it. Could you put it into words for me? Like, what is it actually?
Well, as Humphries goes to work, good battle down low with Magnay comes up empty. I think it's mostly encapsulated with one of Scott Roth's favourite taglines, which is humble and hungry. He wants guys that are competitive, hungry, but also have a humility about them, willing to work together as a good teammate at all times, focused on every possession, and as a result, I mean, they set the example in those kind of ways across the competition.
9-0 run here for the JackJumpers to answer the challenge. All the right things. Good fundamental basketball team under Scott Roth, as they have been for his entire 3-year tenure. Cal steps back, rattles that one in.
Tough. Good patience by DJ Vasiljevic to get that ball moving. And Trey Kells knocking down a very tough triple.
And shooting it well, of course. Liam mentioned he had a scoreless outing in that 35-point loss earlier in the season, 94-59. That the Tassie JackJumpers put up on the Sixers. Kel steps back outside and can't hit that one. Of course, that was the demise of CJ Bruton. Scott Ninnis since then 7-5 as interim coach. Sean McDonald steps into a 3. Can't hit, but Drimmick was in the right place.
One shot only. We heard Ninnis talk about it before. Number 1 in the competition for offensive rebounds. The JackJumpers, you've got to put a body on it.
Magnay got a hand in the passing lane. Still found its way to Vasiljevic. Kel comes up with it. Firing at will, the Sixers. Didn't shoot it particularly well the other night. 8 of 26 from downtown. 2 of 7 to start here. Sydney was 8 of 33 in that game on Friday. It was a real brickfest. McDonald from outside. He doesn't know what that word means.
Oh, no. Mitch McCann was doing a great job on defense in the post, just then on Jack. And Jacob Wiley, for some reason, forgot about Shawnee Mack, the one guy on this team that you cannot help off of.
As he's outscored Adelaide 14-3 in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Mitch McCarron now scooting inside. Drop off pass to Kel was neat.
Good movement off the ball. Trey Kel getting things done on and off the ball. But they need to sit down and get some stops defensively. Another offensive rebound and an extra chance for the Jackies.
It's 3 so far for the JackJumpers.
You see here, Trey Kell just diving in on the post, unnecessary, and Shawnee Mack, as we've spoken about, his three-point range, Liam, extends to half court.
Extends to Launceston. Quick hit up for Tommy Vodanovic. Didn't score on Thursday, had 6 rebounds. He's in the book here for the Jackies, who lead by 7. He's got away from Adelaide pretty quickly as well. Kelsey's a double. Wiley from the mid-range. That's a little bit short. Foul down low.
It's going to be on Vidanovic, which means it'll be free throws for Alex Starling. They hit the bonus early. Tassie, those early fouls to Jordan Crawford and a few others. Here you see Vidanovic just getting tied up with Starling. Good call from the official. They did a good job for about 4 minutes there to defend without fouling while over the limit.
Of course, the No Ball Tour coming down under this year. Melbourne, Sydney and Hobart to the Sydney show. We're giving away a couple of tickets, so VIP tickets, flights, accommodation. You can meet the Ball Stars, you'll get a merch pack and a lot more. Scan the QR code or head to nbl.com.au/noballcomp to get involved with that.
You can meet them.
Absolutely. That would be something special. Of course, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Luke Longley. Shane Jacobson running the show, playing point guard. Be a pretty handy team to be playing point guard for, I would have thought.
He's Kenny. He's not Kenny Anderson.
6-point lead to the Jackies, make it 8 as McDonald gets another to go.
Again, they're getting open looks. 27 points here at 70% from the field. They're not contested looks. Yeah, a couple, a lot in the mid-range, but right to the rim. They've had some good looks from long range. Scott Ninnis would not be happy with the defensive effort in this first term.
Well, Shawnee Mack had career best 23 on this floor, hitting 7 threes against the Breakers on New Year's Day. 2024 has been kind to him. Under a minute remaining in this first period. Cal from outside. And Starling didn't want to take out a few of the home spectators.
I think this is the best version of the JackJumpers. They still got that bite to them on defense, Liam. They're still gritty, but they're also offensively more potent than I think we've seen them even the year they went to the grand final. I think this team has more offensive punch, but if they can couple that with their characteristic defensive traits, they're a real problem.
Yeah, the issue for them has been consistency, right? They haven't won 2 in a row since early December. Are they genuine championship contenders in your book?
I feel they are, because if you got to get them in a series, it's different. Obviously, as Trey Kells gets a tough one to go, but in a series of the JackJumpers, whether it be best of 3 or best of 5, their style travels in short distances, especially I think as the game gets more condensed, I feel like they know how to win.
Lockie Barker out there getting some minutes at the end of this opening period for the JackJumpers. Tossed inside to Krislovic, takes some contact, gets the foul and the bucket.
There he is, the hard work man. Put the hard hat on, grabbed his lunch pail, checked into the game. Good solid screen. Shawnee Mack threw it up like he was a lob threat. He said, hold on, let me bring that back down. Get my feet ready and power up through the contact.
Of course, we're NBL Now teammates during the week. Speaking to you about Tassie, you haven't been too concerned about some of their form throughout the year?
No, sir. They're in every game. They're right there. They're a tough beat.
Foul at midcourt. Kadee reaches in on Shawnee Mack.
I'll tell you what else they are this week, the JackJumpers. They are the Grim Reaper. They are standing there. They drop the sickle on the tight ends.
The hood on.
Put them to 15 losses with a poor percentage, and they have an opportunity today to do the same to Adelaide.
And here's the thing, 14 wins will probably get you in. You have 13, you need a good percentage. Sixers don't have that as Krislovic has the answer at quarter time. The turnaround gets a very friendly roll. And Tassie are well in control of this one. They go to the first break, up by 10.
For the Solstice Jump Squad entertaining us here on a Sunday afternoon at My State Bank Arena. And don't forget to turn up the heat at home and switch to Solstice, our partners of the Solstice Jump Squad. Don't forget it's member appreciation round. Thanks to My State Bank, 10% off food and bev. Simply by showing and paying with your My State Bank Visa debit card. Get priority entry too. If you're a My State Bank customer, you can jump the queue and get priority access to the My State Bank Arena, the JackJumpers game. That's entry 30 minutes before anyone else. And if you're a My State Bank customer, head to their website, mystate.com.au/JackJumpers for a chance to win access to the green room for you and up to 5 guests.
All right, My State Bank Arena, let's get into this early. You might be back with your pie, your chippies, or whatever you've got, but let's make some noise up in this joint. Sunday afternoon, basketball, let's get loud on the crowd leader. A little louder.
We can do a little bit better than that, I think, My State. Let's get really loud.
Quiet, clear, now to kick off, let's get it screaming here.
Tassie by 10 at quarter time. 36 has started really well. Jack McVeigh got the JackJumpers going early. Trey Kell was involved, hitting a Mitsubishi Motors 3, rattling one home. DJ hit from outside as well, but the Jackies took control toward the end of the term and they lead at 31-21. And a must-win game for the Adelaide 36ers here at quarter time. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Liam Santabaria and Kelsey Brown with your first leg of a Sunday doubleheader. Perth and New Zealand to come. A big day in the West with the jersey retirement of Damien Martin a little bit later this afternoon. So strap in. It's a hot day in much of southeastern Australia, so put yourself on the couch, get the air conditioning on and get ready for a massive afternoon of hoops coming your way. And it started pretty well for the Jackies.
It absolutely has, and Scott Roth has rewarded that group that finished off that quarter by starting them for the second. This is when you know you got faith in your depth. And I feel like they deep Liam in multiple positions. The backcourt with Shawnee McDoyle, Steindl, Jordan, and then they depth in the front court. And we still got Majuk Ding, who hopefully will get fit and play for the rest of the season.
Still on the sidelines at the moment with injury, Majuk Ding.
Well, that depth came to the fore in that first quarter, didn't it? I mean, we only had 2 minutes of Jordan Crawford. They only had 2 points combined from Crawford and Milton Doyle in that opening term. They put 31 on the board. So everybody's getting involved and getting a piece of the action.
Well, Adelaide's led at half-time in 7 of their past 8. It was Friday night when they hadn't for the first time in 7 as Wiley gets a good piece of that from Lockie Parker.
Yeah, Jacob Wiley is having none of this foolishness by Lockie Barker. But I'll tell you, that play I like, Clinton Steindl setting that back pick. I love what the Golden State Warriors do with Steph Curry. You got a decision to make. Because if you give Steindl just a sliver of space, he's shooting an astronomical figure from deep.
Janovic loses it. Of course, with Adelaide having been up early in games recently, this isn't a situation that Scott Nindis has had to face all too much as Wiley gets to the cup, moving baseline.
Bringing the energy. This is what Adelaide need. Bit of defensive starch from Wiley at the rim, and there, blows by the defender.
And Steindl had a hot shooting night on Thursday. Foul on the floor. Let's check in with Kelsey Brown, who's listening to Scott Ninnis at quarter time.
Well, he was incredibly unimpressed. He said 31 points is not how we play. It's not good enough. We need to take care of the defensive end. Jason Cadee also chimed in. He said, we're letting them split us, and it's the same stuff over again. Let's clean it up.
Yeah, well, that's good stuff, Kels. The splits action that Tassie run off those elbow catches is their trademark. And if you get confused, you're going to give up open looks.
Give open looks up to Clint Steindl too often. Oh, this man, McDonald splashes another.
I was sitting here in shock that Clint Steindl missed that wide open 3. I mean, he can't shoot 100%, but it feels like he does. As we look at the Harvey Norman replay, great job by fake KRS-1 Kristovich to kick it out. Shawnee Mack missing a wide open 3 is unlikely. You got over 100% worth of three-point shooting percentage, Liam, between those two guys.
Pretty incredible, their numbers. As you rightly say, Damon, you add them two together. 52.4, 47.6 coming into the game. Gives you right on the money. Key to Wiley. Starling tried to rip it down.
Stay here, stay here.
It's going to be a foul on Jack McVeigh.
And this is a lineup, Liam, that Scotty Ninnis put out last week for brief moments, and I liked the Starling with Wiley together.
Right.
Two high-energy guys. They almost a similar player. Wiley might be a fractionally better scorer, but between the two of them, you're going to get so much energy.
A ditch out there at the moment with Kadee, Wiley, Starling, Vasiljevic. Edge just motors his way to the hoop. Some good defense, though, provided by Steindl.
He's deceptively long, Clint Steindl. And when he extends those arms, he made life very difficult there at the rim for Sunday Dech.
Shawnee Mack leads all scorers with 12. Steindl coming off the curl. Finds McVeigh. He puts it on the floor. Somehow kept it moving all the way in.
This is quintessential. This is a big game for Jack. Jack knows the moment. I feel like, Liam, too, they might just want to just punch Adelaide's ticket just to basically tell them, get out of the way.
Two leading scorers have 12 points. McVeigh and McDonald both on 5 of 6 shooting. Tassie shooting nearly 70% as a team as Kadee goes charging headlock into Trey Cal.
And they're just executing. You know, no one's like caught fire in any kind of way for Tasmania. They're just getting the ball through hands. They're running their stuff. They're very, very solid. They'll make you play defense for a long time, possession after possession, and then poetry in slow motion as McVeigh carves up the defense to the rim.
See that massive edge that they've got on the rebounds as well. The Jackies. It's going to be a focus coming into the game for the Sixers, and they haven't executed early.
You know, the offense they run in that action, they don't get too cute with it. They don't try to go, hey, let's do something else. It reminds me of when the Melbourne Tigers would trot out that shuffle offense, Liam, and they would just, you knew they were going to do it, they knew they were going to do it, and they say you have to stop it. And over time, all of a sudden, teams just start to break. Things get a little bit easier for them. I like just how consistent they are running that action.
Yeah. It's a great point. Because then you just get a read on how it's being defended as Dremic catches and fires. Magnay is going to win it back. And then you go to your counters. And they say, all right, they're going to overplay this way, we're going to go that way. Use the back cut. Or, you know, Jack, this time pop, and we'll throw it to you for the catch and shoot 3. Next time they close out hard, he attacks the closeout and gets to the rim. They're very cerebral in the way they go about it.
Insights from Liam Santamaria and Damon Lowry with you. Kelsey Brown's courtside. John Peterson rounding out our team this afternoon. 7 minutes remaining in this second period. McVeigh backs his way in and is fouled by Cal. Bringing the energy that he's known for, Jack McVeigh.
Bringing the energy, bringing the joy, bringing the gratitude. This is a man that's happy to be playing basketball in its purest form. And I'm not an advocate for doubling most people, but the way when Jack is in this type of frame of mind, when he puts the ball on the floor, Liam, you might have to send some troops.
Well, that just speaks to where he's got to in his career. Here's a guy. Can't hit the back end, but, you know, he thought of himself as a guard a couple of years ago before he came to the JackJumpers while he was at Adelaide. Doyle gets sent away, and now you're saying he needs to see a double team in the low block.
Here's Starling throwing one down. 35 on Tuesday, and no issues with the legs for Alex Starling.
Can't call them young legs neither, but they definitely springy.
Spry, maybe. Here's Doyle stepping into a 3. That won't go. So 12-point JackJumpers lead. Cal looks for Humphries. He wants to take it right at Magnay. Fades away. This offensive machine of Tassie's been whirring in fine form early, and McVeigh spins his way in, had it poked away, and last touch by the Jackies.
Look at this Harvey Norman replay. Isaac Humphries with his 5th block over the last 2 games, which leads to an Agent Starling transition, the easiest of dunks. And Adelaide's trying to claw themselves back in this.
Found themselves in a hole against the Kings on Friday and forced their way back into that one. That's a nice take from Starling. Absorbs some contact, gets it to go, and leads to the snooze timeout for Scott Roth. 10-point ball game, 37-27. With 5:55 remaining. Great start for Jack McVeigh. 13 points, 5 of 6 shooting in the early stages. And he caught up with Kelsey Brown earlier, who asked him about the challenge on the plate today.
Push comes to shove, and these last couple games mean a lot for both teams, and this is going to be a playoff type energy tonight. Physicality, defense, that's what it comes down to in these last couple weeks, and it's going to be a fun game.
Speaking of the physicality, there has been talk that it has ramped up in the last couple of rounds. Do you feel that out there? Do you think the intent and the intensity has risen coming into what could be a really intense postseason?
I think we train like that a lot of the time, so I feel like more games have turned into a typical New Zealand versus JackJumpers style of basketball game. So the physicality has increased, but this is what we've been preparing for all year long.
Milton and Jordan Crawford were impressive last game. How do you find their synergy coming along at the moment and leading into this later part of the season?
I love when they're doing what they do. I get to cheer. I'll stand in the corner, go Milton, go JC, and then I'll run in and take some bad shots every now and then. So, hey, they're our leaders, they're our guys, and when they're going, it's a fun thing to watch.
Not many bad shots from Jack McVeigh early in this one.
No, he's taking good shots. It would be fun to be a teammate of that important combination. I really like what he said about, hey, we've been preparing for this all year long. That's what I love about the JackJumpers. The point you were making, Damon, about them in a playoff series. They play playoff basketball from the opening night of the season.
I feel like I'd relish that physical environment as well. Some teams have thrown at them. Doyle can't get it to go the first time, nor the second, but Magnay was there.
And that's what Will Magnay does. Finishes things. And the physicality, teams have been, there's been a little bit of conversation, too much for my liking, about, you know, fouls not being called, this, that, and the other. But when teams want to play physical, this is what happens. There will be contact, and then it's up to the referees. Good finish in transition. Then it's up to the refs. And I think, Liam, the referees will also allow more physicality as the business end of the season ramps up.
Look at this from Milton Doyle. Gets in the passing lane, takes it away, and the vision, the timing, and the skill on the pass. Oh, boy.
A little bit of English on it. Set up Anthony Drimmick beautifully.
Is that an in-swinger, Joel? Out-swinging?
As almost like a little bit of a leg cutter. The off-pace delivery.
Our man's got in and out. That's about as far as we go.
A bit of a right-arm finger spin from Milton Doyle. Anthony Drimmick continuing to have a good season for the JackJumpers. Has been a valuable signing since coming across from the 36ers. As Vasiljevic throws that one away.
And they're in a hole. They're down 15 here now, Adelaide, all of a sudden. So, in what is really essentially an elimination final for the 36ers, they have a big hole to climb out of.
And we say that because if they get to 15 losses, which a loss would have them today, as Magnay goes upstairs and finishes that one, makes it a 17-point game, a new game high. Their percentage at 96.89 coming into today is 3 percentage points lower than the teams they're really in the fight with.
Yeah, so they're still going to mathematically be in the mix, but realistically, it's going to be very, very hard from that point. So, a big 2.5 quarters to come here as they try to resurrect the
Get up, Jordan!
He's going to dunk it. Oh, not quite. Not quite. We can hope, Damon. We can hope and we can dream. And Jordan Crawford lays that one home. 19 points is the Tassie lead, and this is fast slipping away from Adelaide.
It is. It definitely is. The JackJumpers have not put a foot wrong. Everything is working defensively. The depth, everybody's pitching off the bench. No issues.
So it's a hole that Adelaide have dug themselves 19 points deep. A big challenge for them from here. Of course, their star, DJ Vasiljevic, will need to play a big role if they're to get back into it. He caught up with Kelsey Brown pre-game.
DJ, congrats on the 3-year deal. Is it nice to have that one locked away so you can focus on getting the Sixers into the play-ins?
Yeah, a bit of security for the next 3 years for myself and my family. So, I mean, I have to repay it to the city. I think they've embraced me really well and welcomed me. So, yeah, good to be in the city of churches for another 3 years.
The last time you were in Tasmania, you were handed a pretty heavy loss, 35 points. New head coach. Is it a different look to the way that you've scouted the team tonight?
I think so. I mean, that was two and a bit months ago. So, yeah, I think we've turned a good page for the new year, and we just got to keep rolling, and hopefully we can get the outcome and jump into the 6.
It's a huge game tonight. Is that how the feeling is amongst the group? Has it been spoken about, or is it just another game?
I think every game is a big game for us. Scotty's kind of said it since we played the first game of the new year against United. So we're just trying to make a little run. If we can make the 6, we can. If not, you know, we've kind of shown everyone that, you know, we can compete against anyone.
They need a bit of a lift from here at the moment. The Sixers, they've found themselves in a big old hole.
Remember that Scott Roth timeout 3 or 4 minutes ago? It's been 9-zip Tassie since that point. They've grabbed a real stranglehold over the game.
Here's Marshall to try and break the deadlock. Splashes that one from the mid-range.
Much needed bucket by the remix of Scott Nennis, Nick Marshall. And to be more specific, the Adelaide 36's ball screen defense is the issue. Hello!
Milton Doyle making moves, gets all the way in, but was fouled on the way there.
When Isaac Humphries is on the floor at the 5, as we look at Milton Doyle, Gimme say snatch it through there, cross! Get to the cup, drop him off. It's when Jacob Wiley is involved in ball screens, or maybe even Kyron Galloway, that they can actually come up and hedge a little higher, because Isaac is playing it kind of like in a mini drop D, and he's letting everybody get downhill, and then that is when havoc is created.
So 18 points the spread that the 36ers have got to try and fight back, make it 19. What did Scott Ninnis have to say at that last time out, Kelsey Brown?
He spoke about those 3 turnovers in a row, and then he sent it over to Trey Cal and said, what do you want to run? There is nothing happening offensively. Trey Cal sat there in silence for a little bit and then sort of delivered something. It's something that they want to get the ball through hands and make sure that they're making these shots, because nothing is happening at the moment offensively.
Well, they've come out and executed not too bad. A couple of buckets, but it's those looks. Again, Damon off a little rub screen, and it's a wide open free throw for Jordan Crawford.
Cal to the mid-range, splashes another one in. Trey Cal's got 14. Scotty Ninnis thought that should have got a call. Jordan Crawford at the other end. JackJumpers, of course, not the highest scoring team in the competition by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
Trey Cal's heating up.
Here's your man, Liam. Trey is not going to die wondering, is he?
It's the perfect time for him to step up. He's got 17 now, game high, 7 of 11 from the field. Feeling good, and 17 desperately needed points.
It was a very warm day in Adelaide today. Not such a warm day in Tassie, and Trey Cal's brought his own little heater with him. Milton Doyle gets in and kisses that one off the backboard. Cal's got 17. McVeigh's got 13. Sean McDonald has 12. Only 3 players in double digits in this ball game. Marshall to his right hand. They're just killing them from the mid-range.
He's trading buckets these last few possessions. Not going to have Scott Roth in a good mood, but Adelaide's going to have to string together stops.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Liam Santamaria and Kelsey Brown with you. First leg of a Sunday doubleheader as Milton Doyle just waltzes into it.
You almost can't have Isaac Humphries on the floor, Liam, defensively if this is what they're attacking him. It's every single time, pretty much, and they get any kind of shot they want.
Well, that's a very tough make. And you see Magne copped another hit. This time on the left side. He's furious about it.
But you know what I like to see?
He rolls down the paint, Damon, someone's checking it.
Yeah, sorry, Liam. This is when Magne got to get violent, not with this towel on the bench. He got to go out there and start hitting some people, in quotation marks, hitting people.
Okay.
But be that guy.
Speaking of hitting, DJ does just that from outside. Of course, Scott Roth has talked during the week about the fact that, you know, he thinks Will Magday's being targeted effectively by opposition teams, and they've spoken to the league about it.
Forget speaking to the league about it. Handle your business.
Well, as Doyle scores again, I mean, I think he did that in Cairns, right? I mean, there's Pat Miller standing in his way as he's running down the floor, and he says, all right, well, you're going to hit the deck, right? I don't think that there's any kind of softness about Will Magnay and the way he's going about it, but it's very heavy contact on a regular basis.
And that's when you also need your teammates. Good effort there by Marcus Lee. This is when you need your teammates, too, to have your back. I had a guy named Grant Kruger. And if you got a little bit too cheeky with me, Grant Kruger was going to step in there and have a word. And I feel like the Jack Jumpers, if Will Magnay can't fight this battle by himself, he's going to need some teammates to ride roughshod with him.
Who is that guy?
It could be Karas, Fabian Kristovich, but he got some gentle souls out there on the floor.
Does Anthony Drimmick have some Grant Kruger in it?
Yeah, I think Drimmick got some Krugerisms.
So Jim McCall had an element of Kruger about him the other night as he went into bat for his buddy.
I mean, it's not like Pat Miller needs the help, but he must think it's nice to have it. He's a solidly built individual, is Pat Miller.
Shout out to my old teammate, Grant.
Little shot clock adjustment. 1:09 on the game clock, 9 on the shot clock as we get the ball inbounded. So even can't hit. Kell rips it down. 2 more for Trey Kell, who's got 19.
Trey simply keeping him in it with a little bit of everything. Offensive rebounds, which will drive Scott Roth nuts. But here's the ball screen once again.
Oh, Humphries takes that one away from Doyle with 2 hands. DJ downhill to Humphries underneath, lays it home.
Isaac playing both ends of the floor. Great penetration by DJ.
Scotty Innes imploring his team from the sideline. Tassie hasn't scored more than 57.5 this season. Came against Sydney back in round 4. The first half, that is. And they're going to get the opportunity to have that best scoring first half of the season here as Milton Doyle goes to the line for a couple. Of course, the Harlem Globetrotters 2024 World Tour coming down under to a city near you this year. Plenty of fun to be had. Buy your tickets now. Scan the QR code on the screen. Or head to hg2024.nbl.com.au.
If you could pick one current NBL player to join the tour, who would it be? John Crawford. Easy.
Now, ask me a real question. Now, yeah,
I was just wondering if you were going to slip up.
We're on the same page.
Got to pick one NBL player to join the Generals. I won't ask you that question.
Oh, off air.
Yeah. 2-second difference, shot and game clock. Sixers down by 12. Trey Kell's done his level best in this first half.
Well, he's been sensational. This game would be over if it wasn't for Trey Kell. If he didn't catch fire in this second quarter, I mean, they were, what were they down? 19? 20? It's back to 12.
48-29 at one stage. Kell to win the half. Drops it off, and it's out of court.
And he knew he should have shot it. He's annoyed with himself. Oh, 2.8 seconds. Sub Sean McDonald in.
Yelling out, timeout, timeout. Okay.
It's going to be a timeout for Scott Roth here to draw something up. 2.8 seconds remaining in the half. We know that Shawnee Max, he's the buzzer beater king.
And if you think this ball's going in, we want you to put your arms up in the air. If you think that this ball's going to miss, we want you to give a big no deal. No deal's back on TV, by the way.
Let's take a look at Will Magnay's injuries, the woe that he's got going on. This is what he came into the game with.
So that was a hit from his right onto his right side, and then here, bang. Marshall just evening it up. He comes across on the left, and you know, you can see, obviously, he's worked up, he's furious. Scott spoke about it post-game, but it's on the scouting report.
Hey.
When the big fella rolls down the middle of the lane, lay a body on him.
Hey, and Nick Marshall, you can't help but respect it. Here's a young guy going at a veteran. So, yep, credit to you, Nick Marshall. I'm telling you what, though, there will be payback. in the fairway, Liam, in the legal fairway.
What will it look like?
It was just like a nice little terror screen, nice little back pick, you know, just to make him look over his shoulder. But that's all. But that's basketball, and we've all been that. We've all talked about bumping cutters and you know, and using your body.
What's Tassie running out of this timeout, Kelsey Brown?
Well, they did switch it up. It was going to be Anthony Drimmick taking the ball in. Now it's Sean Mack. They're doing a lineup of screens. I don't know who's going to get the ball, but I'm hoping that it's Sean Mack from a half. Here we go.
He's going to have to go from a bit further than half court.
Shawnee! Oh!
And he's almost made it. Having made a half quarter on Thursday night, he can't quite repeat the dose there. But Tasmania well and truly in control at halftime. They led by 10 at quarter time. And they lead with their equal highest scoring first half of the season by 12 at the half, 57-45. And Kelsey Brown has got Sean McDonald.
Yeah, I'm here with the man of the moment, Sean McDonald. 57 points to the half. How have you seen the first 20?
Yeah, I mean, we're executing really well. We're moving the ball. We're sharing it. No one cares who's scoring, and we're finding the best shot every possession.
Defensively, there's a lot of pressure from you guys. Obviously, that's a JackJumpers brand. Trey Kell's on a tear, though. How are we going to stop him in the second half?
Yeah, I think just getting out, showing, being more aggressive, and having the next guy help for him, stunning at him, making him make one more pass.
All the best for the second half. Thanks.
Sean McDonald's had a productive first half, as have the Tassie JackJumpers. 57-45. The home fans are loving this. Plenty coming up at the half time, which is next.
Foundation members, we absolutely love that. Leah, who have you got over there? And then I'll explain the game.
Alrighty, I've got Ruby and B here with me today. Now, guys, basketball runs in your veins. You've got a bit of a cheer squad happening. Tell me a little bit about those. Awesome. I'm feeling good. Alrighty.
Alright, we love that. Let's get underway. We're going to go young people first. So Harry versus Ruby. You guys come over here with me. What we're going to do, you've got to dribble the ball up, get the ball in as you're running back, get a piece off our jump squad, play north and crosses down here, right? First to win, and then we're going to have a grand final. You come over here, mate. Take that ball, stay on the line. Right, you're coming this way, right? Alright, nice day, Bank Arena. Let's get behind Harry and Ruby. First to three. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 500 voucher. Thanks to Spirit Chaz up the grabs. Don't mind that, Harry. We've got a game on here, I reckon. He's on. He's on. Right.
Give it up for Ruby. Go, Ruby.
Harry's coming back for number 2. Oh, love that, Has. Ruby, pressure's on you. Great layup.
halftime in Tassie, and the JackJumpers doing it in fine style. Their equal highest scoring first half of the season with 57 points. Hasn't been without its moments for the Sixers, but Milton Doyle has been distributing and leading Tassie to a very profitable first half back on their home floor. 3rd v 7th as we came into it, a very big game, especially for the Adelaide 36ers, and they've got a bit of work to do at half-time. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Liam Santamaria with you, and the man who's led the charge for the JackJumpers in our half-time highlights, thanks to Hungry Jacks, is Milton Doyle.
Milton Doyle, the smooth assassin. Just when you think he's been quiet, he actually hasn't been quiet as you think. He's got 10 points, he's got assists, he's got the mid-range game happening. He just goes about his business. He doesn't take bad shots, but he's very opportunistic. Then this ball screen right here, that's a tough one off the glass, but this is what's been driving the JackJumpers offense. Getting downhill, turn the corner off pick and rolls. And Milton Doyle, which I like about him, he's not that alpha dog, big-time scorer. He just goes about it and accumulates points. He's the accumulator, Liam.
He's a smooth operator. And there you see the halftime team stats, and the 9 assists, or 5 of those for the JackJumpers, were from Milton Doyle to go with his 11 points. And, you know, look at the work on the glass. Scott Ninner spoke about, hey, 1 shot. Well, they've got 8 offensive rebounds out of that rebound advantage that they have. So a very solid first half from Tasmania, and really it was Trey Kell who kept Adelaide in the game.
19 points to the half for Trey Kell, and he's been doing everything he can. We spoke pre-game about the form that he brings into this one. He's displayed it again, but he needs some players to go with him.
He does, and he needs some defensive players to come along with him as well. But Trey Kell has made sure that Adelaide is stay in this game. They know what this game means. They know their season is on the line right now, and Trey Kell is not going to go out without a bang. So good to see him being aggressive, keeping his team in it.
So 19 points, 5 rebounds for Trey Kell, and very efficient getting to the rack.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Not as much playmaking, just the 1 assist, because, you know, some others have had a bit of trouble knocking down shots. But also, you know, he just got a mindset going at times in that first half, saying, hey, we need buckets and I'm going to provide them. So others need to come with him, like you guys said. Isaac Humphries, they need some more production from him down low, and they need Dejan Vasiljevic to catch fire in this second half.
Shot chart thanks to Blackmores. Let's take a look at our Mitsubishi Motors ladder. So the JackJumpers 14 and 12, this result included in this standing. So this is a live ladder, and the Adelaide 36ers, they would go to 15 losses, and you can see that percentage. That's what we keep talking about. That's where they need to make up ground.
Yeah, it's not enough churches in Adelaide if they drop this game to go there and pray to a higher being to get them into the 6.
They're going to need all kinds of help, the Adelaide 36ers, from here. Coming up next, a big afternoon of hoops, a significant afternoon over in the West. Damian Martin's jersey to be retired, and the Breakers going in trying to take a win out of Perth. Such a storied rivalry. That is next.
foundation is the same with you, Lee? Amazing. Now, this is a really hard question, but over the years, could you pick some of your favourite players? It is very difficult. I love them all. That's a safe answer. I love them all too. What about you, Lee? Anyone in particular that takes your fancy over the years? Will Magnay, big Will. So good to see him out there today. Now, ladies, we just want to add a big thank you for today of what it is, and a big thanks to My State Bank. We want to give you a little bit of a treat today. So a big thank you for being you and for all your support over the years. Special, beautiful jersey, signed jersey. Big round of applause for Janelle and Lee. Thank you so much, guys.
And Rono, member appreciation round again. Thanks to My State Bank. I'm here with Tom. A bit of the family. Tom, how are you, mate? How long about yourself have you been a member for with the Jackies?
Second season.
Second season. We don't mind that. We've had foundation.
Bunnings Warehouse, backing the next generation of ballers. Earlier this season, these ballers from Railage came out to watch us play. So we're just returning the favor. We're excited to see their moves. Let's go, buddy! Yeah! Keep up the work.
I like watching the Taipans play. I like the live action and the experience of the crowd.
Look it! There it is!
The Taipans kept losing by 10 points, but then at the last 5 minutes we came up and won.
Defense! Defense! Yeah!
My favourite play is Paul, and I like to watch Paul hit threes.
2, 1. Oh, good job, everyone. Great job. Great job.
One day I would love to play for the Cairns Taipans.
3, 2, 1. Bunnings Warehouse, backing ballers.
Half-time in Hobart, and it is the JackJumpers doing it nicely. 12-point leaders over the Adelaide 36ers. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Damon Lowry, Kelsey Brown with your first leg of a Sunday doubleheader. And it's been the Mac attack in the first half for the Jackies. Jack McVeigh and Sean McDonald they've been balling out, Damon.
They have been. Jack McVeigh got off to a great start, got the crowd into it. He's already at his rebounding average of 5, so hopefully he doesn't switch off, but hopefully they'll start this third quarter. Scott Roth would have said probably 0-0, but it's not, Liam. They're up 12 and shooting 61%.
They're going to play the same way at all times. Sean McDonald, what a terrific contribution off the bench. Early fouls to Jordan Crawford. McDonald comes in and goes whackety-whack. 2 of 4 from range, 5 of 7 overall. And like he said at halftime, they don't care who scores. They spread the love. Everybody gets a touch. And, you know, they piled on the points in that first half.
If you're the Adelaide 36ers, what are the couple of things that we're really looking to adjust here in this second half?
That ball screen defense, any dribble handoff, any of those DHOs, they're getting downhill way too easy. So Isaac Humphrey's going to have to come up and play a little bit higher to just deter the JackJumpers from getting into the key.
And the other one, Ninnis would have just circled what he'd already had written on the whiteboard about limiting the JackJumpers to 1 shot each and every possession.
8 offensive rebounds in that first half for Tassie. Sydney had plenty of them the other night. 16, they lost that count by 8. It was the difference in the rebound count at the end of Friday night. Will Magnay out there to start this second half for the JackJumpers, and they go straight back to Jack McVeigh.
Right into the heart of the defense.
Again, it's just beautiful basketball, Liam. The ball goes side to side. Kyron Galloway jumps out on the ball screen. Nice little bounce pass to Jack.
Galloway, Humphreys, Kalkadee, and Vasiljevic out there for the 36ers. Crawford, Drimmick, McVeigh, Magnay, Doyle for Tassie. Jackie's looking to advance to 14 and 12. As Crawford floats that one home high off the glass.
Boy, and these are nervous times for the Sixers and their fans. You know, it's been a fantastic run. It's been something of a Cinderella story. And, you know, people have started to dream the dream about appearing in the postseason, but it's starting to get away from them here. 2 early buckets from the Jackies to open this third quarter.
McVeigh from outside, cans another one. And that lead is back out to 19.
Just great ball movement, great execution. Milton Doyle penetrates. They overhelp. Nice kick out to Jack, wide open.
Equal game high lead. First 7 points of this quarter going the way of the hosts. Humphries trying to end that. Tassie 6-6 at home this season. 36ers 3-9 on the road as Humphries denies his former teammate in Drimmick. It'll stay in Sixers' hands here. Vasiljevic floats that one home off the glass.
Huge play. The block from Humphries. DJ finishing it down the other end. They really have to dig their heels in right now and try to cut into this margin.
It's going to take something very special. As Jordan Crawford splits the defense and unfortunately the offense. Harvey Norman replay. Jack McVeigh burying another triple.
Milton Doyle, like I said, he's just an accumulator of stats. He just plays good basketball for so many minutes. Good things tend to happen. And the JackJumpers have got off to a great start for this third quarter.
17, 10, and 7 Thursday for Milton Doyle. Callaway can't hit, but the second chance opportunity is there for him. And it's a different looking Tassie side when he's back in form and Jordan Crawford's back in form as well.
And they're going to this Doyle-McVeigh pick and pop action. Here they go again, whackety whack. Now, it's going to be a switch with McVeigh because he's so dangerous on the pop, but if you're going to switch on Doyle, he's going to carve you up, and they are taking advantage right now.
Jack McVeigh is 8 of 9 for 21 points.
A little bit too close. That's what Drimmick can do at times, just to get a little bit too aggressive when it's not necessary. But we have a look at this. Yeah, Jack McVeigh snuck out of that ball screen. And the way they've been saying, like you said earlier, Liam, they will run some similar actions to see how you defend it. They would communicate to themselves that they're going to be aggressive. So guess what? We're going to pop on these ball screens now.
24, Jack McVeigh's best of the season in that thrilling win against the Taipans a couple of weeks ago with the buzzer beater. Will Magnay goes crashing into a spectator. Jack McVeigh has a little bit of height. That man and the kids are all right. It's member appreciation round down in Tassie, and they're certainly appreciating these particular members.
Well, that's
look at this little girl.
Oh, you don't need that from...
She didn't flinch.
The 2-metre big fella.
They tough in Tassie. Shakes it off, she does, Liam.
Might be a Hungry Jack's drive-through job at Glenorchy on the way home to make that young girl feel a little bit better.
Meanwhile, Trey Cal keeps on keeping on. It's tied McVeigh now at 21, equal game-leading scorer.
Magnay underneath getting it done.
And they're starting to drop their heads down a little bit, Adelaide. The slumping of the shoulders and the dropping of their heads, it's starting to become a little disheartening for him.
Humphries can't hit. He looks frustrated as he makes his way back up the floor. 6 minutes remaining in this third period, and he's getting away from Adelaide.
This is smart basketball. Isaac Humphries is obviously not shooting well, only 2 for 7 from the field, so he's frustrated. But now Jason Kadee, who started this quarter, he decides, I'm going to guard Jack McVeigh. What does Jack do? Let's go down to the body shop, and everybody on offense, patient, get it inside, draw a foul.
Sean McDonald out there with Doyle and Crawford now. Doyle just curls his way around, and McVeigh was there for the follow. And Scott Ninnis has seen enough. New game high, 20-point lead for the JackJumpers. And it's getting ugly for Adelaide.
Well, they just think their way through it. You know, you're going to mix your matchups around. All right, now let's put Magnay in the ball screen. Now the threat of the lob gives Doyle the opportunity at the rim. If Humphries commits, well, you got no one blocking out Magnay at the rim.
Of course, this is what they're all playing for. The final series, Tassie looking potentially to host that seeding qualifier matchup. So Tassie in third at the moment, so they would host that game. The winner then goes on to play the team that plays second in the first of the playoff series. You finish 5 and 6, you play, loser goes home, winner plays the loser of that 3v4 matchup, and then we go through from there. We think we need 14 wins to get in with some comfort. 13 and a good percentage, around 100 will get you in. You recorded an episode of NBL Now this week with Jack Hever and Liam, detailing all of that. It's a great place to go to catch up on it, but this is such an exciting prospect for the second year.
I just enjoyed listening to you explain it. A real sort of beautiful mind type business going on with
some galaxy brain over here.
It was beautiful. I enjoyed it. And you know what's interesting? It's starting to become a little clearer. Game by game, you can start to picture Melbourne in that 1 spot and Perth in that 2 spot and Tassie in that 3 spot, and it's starting to take shape.
So 20-point lead to Tassie. Here's Isaac Humphries driving straight at Magnay. Marshall outside, Cal in the corner. Time winding down the shot clock, and Trey Cal books it.
That was some good defense, too, by the JackJumpers. They recovering, they rotating. But Trey is just in form as Milton Doyle gets downhill once again.
24 points for Trey Cal. He's 10 of 15 from the field. He is leading the way. And Kelsey Brown, as we come to you courtside, he just needs some help from his team.
Yeah, well, Scott Ninnis called out that body language that Liam spoke about. He said, get your heads up. The game is in the next 2 minutes. This is where we're going to win it. He said, in fact, the season is in the next 2 minutes, so we've got to get the energy up.
Kels, did he talk about the defense and specifically what they're doing on those ball screens? Because the JackJumpers have been carving them up.
He did not address defensively or offensively, anything like that. He addressed the body language, the attitude, and what they're putting on the court at the moment. It doesn't matter what they're doing defensively if they're not going to bring the energy, body language-wise, I don't think.
Okay, Kels. Yes. Where's your attitude like? Ooh. What's your attitude like? Kels is asking about their heart, Liam.
I like it. Well, I will say, I think Adelaide have shown a whole bunch of heart over the course of the back end of this season, right?
I agree.
Credit where that's due, because it was all over for them. You know, essentially when we were getting past Christmas and New Year, and Scott Ninnis just got his Ted Lasso on. Everybody started to believe a little more and simplified the message. Yeah, they're having a rough one here, but they have been outstanding over the past month and a bit.
Absolutely. They have been. Their next evolution, we'll see what it looks like, but...
Trey Cal donates some burgers to the good people of Tasmania. Jump on the NBL app, head to the menu, the Hungry Jacks button. The code word is TRAP. Treat yourself some deliciousness this Sunday afternoon. McVeigh from outside. He's been feasting all game. Trey Cal tries to knock that one away from McVeigh, but gets a piece of him on the way through. Might have copped a knock as well.
And Will, ever the sport, everybody's beating up on Will, but when Will gives you one by accident, he's going to apologize for it.
Okay. He's checking on Cal at the moment.
I'm checking.
Making sure he's okay. Ken Widgeroov and Woolcock, Damien Lyons, our refereeing team. 10 on the shot clock here. Doyle has a fumble at midcourt. This is a position that no one in the league wants to be in, with Milton Doyle working his way to the bucket, and some great defense from Jacob Wiley. Sends it the other way. Cal for another. Not quite. Marshall there. He can't finish.
Could have brought it back to 15, which is a big number, but is not trending in the direction of the 36ers as once again, downhill action. This is the issue with the 36ers today. This is technical. Ball screen, not even a real screen. Isaac Humphries is in a drop D, and there's nobody there, Liam, to offer any resistance.
And again, you got like the threat of the lob of Will Magnay that's keeping Isaac Humphries attached, but he's got to do a better job of impacting the ball and taking that away. And then the guy guarding the ball, in that case Wiley, needs to do a better job of fighting over and then getting back in front. Now, way easier said than done, but Doyle is having a field day, 15 points and 7 assists.
New game-high lead as well for the JackJumpers at 21. Marshall puts the moves on. He was called for a carry.
Yeah, we used to call that a cuff back on the playground. Nick just dribbled it over Jordan's head. And I don't know if you've noticed over the last few rounds, but Jordan Crawford has picked up the defensive intensity up the floor, being way more of a nuisance than he has been to start off the season.
Here's Doyle again. He's just getting everything that he wants at the moment. 23-point Jackies lead.
And Marcus Lee says, don't sleep on my playmaking ability.
He's been needed from a scoring perspective today, Marcus Lee. Just the one field goal attempt. That didn't go down as Wiley adds another couple to his account. It's been ruthlessly efficient from the JackJumpers. They've got options everywhere. Crawford now. He makes his way to the cup. They're all joining in on the fun.
Beautiful, beautiful play by the JackJumpers. This possession earlier, lovely. They've got Trey Kell on the high side, the Iverson cut, the back cut, everyone on the same page. They knew where the ball was going to go and then isolated on the perimeter. Jordan Crawford goes to work.
That's an island, the Jordan Crawford Island. It ain't a place you want to visit.
It's not a sunny place for the Adelaide 36ers today, that is for sure. It is overcast at Jordan Crawford Island. 79-56, 23-point lead to the JackJumpers. Coming up next, this man has been red-hot form, and the Wildcats take on the New Zealand Breakers to round out round 18 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Can New Zealand stop Bryce Cotton? That is the big question for them.
And I tell you what, if you're an Adelaide 36er fan, get comfortable on the couch. Because this game and cheering on the Wildcats is just as important as trying to get your 36ers home, because those New Zealand Breakers, with their healthy percentage, is coming.
Bryce Cotton rolling into the venue for that game this afternoon, and if you do not mind, just a very tasty little matchup of the next stars, the Frenchman Alexander Sarr and Lithuanian lefty Mantas Rubstavicius going at it this afternoon.
Kudos to the man to my left. What a crop of talent. I hereby demand a Lithuanian in the league every year, Liam.
You've enjoyed watching it?
I've enjoyed it immensely. He is a package.
I'm not sure those two will match up on each other directly, but they might come together at some stage.
Well, I mean, we saw a little bit of next star on next star action last night that we may not have expected.
Oh, goodness me.
AJ Johnson putting one on Rocco Zakarski. And I think the only person who was a bigger fan of, or maybe other than yourself and AJ Johnson of the dunk, was Rocco Zakarski, who was very pleased with AJ's work.
Wow, you can't help but appreciate it.
Shouting it out on social media. He even reposted it to his story. Oh, Crawford with a circus shot!
Harvey Norman, please, when you are ready.
The big tent's up at My State Bank Arena. And Jordan Crawford is the ringmaster. Wiley on lead.
That is great D, Marcus Lee.
Marshall there for the follow.
They didn't finish off the possession. Nick Marshall kept it alive, but I'm still waiting.
We'll get it. Don't worry. We will get it. Now the Sixers out in transition. Cal underneath to Starling. Denied by McVeigh, who's doing a bit of everything. Dominant performance from the Jackies. And Jack McVeigh adds another two. 23.
Jack McVeigh is in considerations for an all-star team, an all-NBL team. Whether he gets in or not, beside the point, but he has been balling.
You ask and you shall receive.
Yes, Harvey Norman.
Replay.
Let's check him out. Do I fake the? I don't know what that was. I don't know. I saw it, and I still don't know what he did.
Kell getting crunched again.
And Shawnee landed on his ankle. Obviously totally inadvertent, but Trey Kells has been very fortunate this whole season with his injuries, and last thing he needs in his last couple.
Okay.
Do not make this easy. We might have our burgers, but you need to make this as difficult as you possibly can. Wow.
So Adelaide's percentage on the live ladder down to just a tick over 96%. So you think about those 13 wins that they need. Of course, the live ladder is on the NBL app, the place for breaking news, stats, and more. I just had it open, looking at that live ladder. You can download it by scanning the QR code on your screen. Head to the web link, or of course, just jump into the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and punch in NBL. And if you haven't already, that is the thing you need over these last 2 and a bit rounds.
Well, you're right, Joel. It was a good point to make, because not only do they desperately need to avoid the loss today, but worsening their percentage is a nightmare result. So stay on target, stay locked in, try to do what the Phoenix did last night and turn a blowout into a respectable loss to maintain that mathematical possibility.
Which was the opposite of what Brisbane did, as Wiley splashes one in from the quarter, where Brisbane were really close, and then all of a sudden that ends up being a 13-point Illawarra win.
That's all it takes. A loss in focus, getting distracted about the wrong things. You got to play it out for the full 40 minutes.
We saw that from Sunday Detch in Adelaide's win over Sydney on Friday night, where he hit the buzzer beater 3 right at the end of the game. There's a lot of commentary online. How important could this be at the end of the season? We know that last year on that final day, it all came down to the very last shot. And this year, of course, Melbourne, Illawarra, the early game on that final Sunday of the season, and Adelaide, New Zealand, in a couple of weeks' time on the 18th of Feb. They're the 2 games, and they could have some implications, particularly in the case of the Breakers and the Hawks. Back at the ranch, it's a 19-point lead that Alex Starling's cutting into with a tough finish.
Good take, shot clock winding down. Not a position he's usually finds himself in, Alex Starling. All right, my ball. Got to make something happen. Scott Ross yelling out, be solid. Strong take. Tough call on Lee and one opportunity.
Of course, his debut season in the NBL as a naturalised citizen, having waited a long time, played a lot of ball in the CBL. Most recently with South Adelaide, where he was a champion. Was coached by Scott Ninnis as well. Been a bit of a roller coaster ride in his debut NBL season.
It has
He's seen the full gamut.
He has, and there's been a time when naturalized Americans, or naturalized Australians, I should say, wasn't always getting a lot of opportunities in the league. As older as Trey Kells picks his pocket.
Kell with the thievery and the hammer. Pulling up a bit
okay.
sore, but that was all right. Here's Lockie Barker from 3/4 court. That won't go. And the Sixers just keep the door ajar. There's a little bit of light there for Adelaide. They eat into the margin, but at 3/4 time, it's still the Jackies in control. They lead 83-69.
Excellent, and you're a member, which we love. We can ask you questions about being a member, but we know you love it, so let's just get straight into it. Plenty of cash up for grabs, righto. $50 start down here on the key. $50 for every shot. You've got 10, and then you've got a $1,000 shot at the end. Righto, wait up a sec. Look, my state bank, let's count it in. 3, 2, 1, let's go. $50 per pop. Oh my goodness. My state bank quivering. We're going to hunch. You've got a minute too, Lukey, so we want to have time at the end for the $1,000. So let's go. 100 still good. Yep, that's right. It's all good. Keep going quick. We've only got a minute. Keep pushing. Let's get behind him, my state bank arena. Come on, there's some cash rolling. 150, 200, I think we'll get to the $1,000 one. Right, I'm going quick down. Let me back, Rick. This is the moment. Let's do it. Oh, get in. Give him another one. Give him another one. Quick. Yep, hit the back ball. Get in, $1,000. Oh, that's all. Where are we? Come around here, Ricky boys. $250 all thanks to My State Bank. We love it. Thanks for being a member. Let's go, last quarter.
Alrighty, the energy's good in here, Tasmania, but I think we could crank it just a little bit more. Let's put those clappers together and make...
3/4 time in Tassie, and the JackJumpers continue to go in their efficient ways. Jack McVeigh got them going. Milton Doyle's come into things. Jordan Crawford with the circus shot. And Tassie led by 10 at quarter time, 12 at half time, and they lead by 14 at 3/4 time. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Damon Lowry with you. Kelsey Brown is courtside. Sixers did close it up a bit toward the end of that term, though, Liam.
Yeah, well, they were getting blown out. 11-2 run by Adelaide to finish the term. So now it's back to 14. What can they do here in these first couple of minutes? That going down would have helped.
Doyle back the other way. Jack McVeigh's got 23 points. Trey Kell has 27 to lead all scorers for the Sixers. Doyle fights his way inside. Jump ball.
Good wall up. Good D by Alex Starling. Plug that middle. Because we all know Milton Doyle's been living in the key all game.
So 14-point JackJumpers lead. Let's go courtside. Kelsey Brown was listening to Scott Roth, 3/4 time.
Yeah, you'd think Scott Roth would be happy with a 14-point lead at 3/4 time, but he wasn't quite happy with the output from the JackJumpers. He said defensively too many and ones, and he said, why do we keep giving them life and letting them back in?
Sean McDonald trying to shut the door. Jack McVeigh out there anchoring the unit with Milton Doyle at the moment.
They had the door shut, Joel. They just couldn't lock it. And all of a sudden, now Vasiljevic is going to the free throw line. There's a little bit of an opportunity to put a foot in the way.
Just standing there, fumbling with the keys. 36ers just turn the handle and poke their head around the corner a little bit.
It's a bit frustrating for Scott Roth.
Scott's seen a lot of basketball over the journey. He's seen this movie before, this trend, where just when you think it's over, it's not over. In Adelaide, they're not going anywhere. They're hanging around.
DJ hits 2 at the line.
And he hasn't really got going. And you know he's always lurking and speaks to his level of production. He hasn't got going. He's got 14 because he's been able to get to the free throw line. But if he starts heating up,
Magnay for 3. Will Magnay for 3. As well, everyone else has.
He might have been open for a reason.
Can shoot a lot of them. The big fella. He's 1 of 3 before that this season as Wiley finishes athletically.
good look for Vasiljevic. Didn't force anything up. Great cut from Wiley. And there's life in the 36ers.
10-point game. Starling picks up the foul. Some contact with Will Magnay.
And now Scott Ninnis, has some thinking to do because he's catching a little rest for Trey Kell, who's got the game-high 27 points. And he's trying to decide when to throw him back in.
When, Liam? Quando? When do you put him back in?
Next empty offensive possession.
Steindl from the corner, buries it.
Oh, my gosh. The Clinton Steindl fan club starts behind me. This guy shooting 52% from deep water. The one guy he can't help off of.
Vasiljevic comes up empty. There is that the offensive set. Tassie by 13. McDonald thought about it. Forces his way inside, and the friendly roll. Tough finish from Sean McDonald. And all of a sudden, that spreads back out to 15. Wiley almost had it bounce off his toe. And he's able to regain it. 5 on the shot clock for Vasiljevic. Floater will go. It's tough.
You know, the 36ers have been operating on this slim margin for error for the past month, and certainly within this game. And these buckets, the last 2 they've given up. This attack here from the JackJumpers, all of a sudden the defense has just slipped a little, and the Jackies have put some more pressure on that door.
And this is when their efficiency, their methodicalness on offense, they don't take the crazy shots to let you really get back into the game. They're going to make you bleed on defense and let the system work for them. And if it goes awry, you know Scott Roth will be calling quick timeouts to arrest that. But this is where Will McNay needs to evolve a little bit more from the foul line.
53.5% shooter at the stripe. Lace is the second of them. Still no Trey Kell for Adelaide. McCarron, Wiley, Starling, Vasiljevic, Sunday Detch out there. Crawford, McVeigh, Magnay, Doyle, Steindl for the Jackies. 7 minutes remaining. Detch underneath. Magnay does enough.
That's brilliant. Not only did Magnay show on the ball screen, but then got on the retreat, and when we changed the shot, blocked the shot. This is just supreme athleticism and desire to play deep.
Crawford making his move. Steindl with 2 on the clock. Fouled and 1!
Killer blows from the captain. Early in the 4th quarter, Adelaide asking a few questions. Here's the defense from Magnay. Sending that away. Oh, might have been a little contact on the wrist. Got away with it. And that's tough from Steindl.
I don't even know what he's shooting from 2. Don't even. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Infrequently would be the answer.
And he gets it to go. So he stays perfect at the free throw line on the season. Clint Steindl, 7 of 7. "17 points is that lead. Sixers had it down to 10 earlier in this term. Wiley from outside. That one won't go. Of course, a loss for the Sixers mean they get to 15 losses on the season, and then it's really in percentage terms, and theirs isn't favourable compared to the likes of Illawarra, Sydney, New Zealand, who they'll be battling with. Doyle from outside. Tassie cement 3rd spot with a win, and their 14th of the season. And the playoff picture, 14 wins, is probably what you need to get in. Trey Kell is out there and finds Wiley underneath.
Trey Kell's playmaking ability has been on full display over the last couple of months.
27, 6 and 3 today. And another one goes down for Clint Steindl.
Good Lord, man.
That stroke is wet. 52% from 3 on the year.
Not over a couple of games, Liam, over the season.
35 of 66 he is on the year.
And what is it, 6 from 7 from 3 on the weekend? Here's the Harvey Norman replay. Catch and splash from the top.
It's never looked like missing.
Just a shooter. I wouldn't know nothing about it. I got no experience with it. But it is just great to watch.
It's good for those of us to sit through vicariously, Damon, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Cal can't hit from the corner. Vasiljevic cleans it up. So DJ's up to 18. Thoughts to Leonard Copeland, who needs him to score a few more than that to settle a particular wager. Afternoon, Copes. He'll be listening out the back. He's coming up next for the Wildcats and the Breakers. Oh, Doyle behind the back. Crawford wide open. And he makes those with his eyes shut.
Yeah, the little big man, he only shooting 39% from deep.
So 98-79, it's the Jackies by 19. They've got plenty of work to do here, the Sixers. If they're to salvage their season, today's probably out the window now, but really, 15 losses, their percentage the way it is. Similar to Cairns on Thursday night. I think Tassie's probably put an end to the campaign for Adelaide today.
Yeah, it's probably time to pack it up. I mean, full credit to the 36ers and what Scott Dennis has done in the second half of this season, but there can only be 6. It is a 6-team party, and unfortunately for the 36ers, they're not invited. But when you look at this Jack Jumper backcourt, Doyle, Steindl, Crawford, McDonald, they all can shoot threes.
They shoot it. A few other teams in the competition. Tassie by 19 points, over halfway gone in this final term. They've scored 100 or more 6 times this season, and 107 is their best score of the season, so they are well and truly on track for that. Well and truly on track for the postseason. They notch up their 14th win with a W today. Very healthy percentage. Looking like they might be hosting that seeding qualifier 3v4 matchup.
Where did you have the Jack Jumpers, Liam, in your way too early predictions?
I had them in the 4 because I learnt from the last couple of seasons. If Scott Roth's at the helm, if Jack McVeigh, Milton Doyle running around, then this team's going to be right there in the mix at the pointy end of proceedings.
Scotty said earlier at a timeout that really it was in the middle of the third quarter. The season was here for Adelaide. They haven't been able to eat into it. Kelsey Brown, what did he have to say at that last stoppage?
Well, he spoke offensively about flipping some screens, but the main point was about flipping the focus to the margin now. Obviously, they want to come away with a win, but if they can get the shortest margin, that's going to be beneficial for their season too.
The game within the game.
Well, it makes sense because Melbourne, Perth, Tassie, they're going to make it. So the issue for Adelaide is Illawarra, Sydney, New Zealand, and the fact that all 3 of those teams have good percentage, over 100.
So Illawarra 100.46, Sydney 101.7 or 07, and New Zealand, who played this afternoon, 100.34. Adelaide, as it stands, their percentage is 96.3.
Now, the other thing is, in New Zealand, they've got a whole bunch of games in hand. They're playing very well, but they're on the 10 wins. Adelaide have 11. So if you're a Sixers fan, you're going to want to cheer against the Breakers as well.
Silly laces that. Whoa.
Because until the proverbial is singing, then it's not all over.
New Zealand with Perth today, Illawarra and Melbourne, Brisbane, and then, of course, they finish their season in Adelaide. So some big games to come for the Breakers. The first of them is in about 20 minutes' time over in Perth. Doyle from outside, shot clock expiring, goes around and out, and Trey Keller's been in the wars. He's done everything today for the Sixers. Here's Vasiljevic at the other end.
DJ has the shot tree, if you will, from 3. He's got the step back, left, right, the side steps going both directions. There's not a 3-pointer that DJ can't hit with some accuracy as well. So DJ's going to go out with a blaze of glory in his last 3 minutes. Let's see.
Sixers haven't conceded 100 points in their last 4 outings. Conceded 71 against Cairns last round, 78 on Friday night against Sydney. So that defense had been locked in, but that's been the big issue today.
And some teams pose different threats. You might look good defensively one week, depending on the matchups, but then another team brings out a whole different style. And this jack jumper style is very tough to defend.
Earlier in the season, you might have looked at this and thought, yeah, pretty routine Tassie win. I mean, this is a serious win against Adelaide, the way they've been playing and the way that they played today, especially their offensive execution.
I think they can ask questions of your defense. And there's a couple of times now, the last time, 2 times they've played them, that Adelaide haven't had the answers. And if you've got some kinks in the way you go about it at the defensive end, they'll find them and they'll take advantage.
Season high for Jack McVeigh now with 26. And he's pumped about the turnover at the other end. Milton Doyle, 17 and 10.
That's a career high for assists for Milton Doyle. Previous career high was 8. So outstanding stat sheet stuffing weekend for Milton Doyle. That's 17, 10 and 7 the other night in Cairns.
Magnay cleans that one up.
I mean, some guys don't like when they don't get the ball. Some guys don't like having to go and get it off the glass themselves. But, oh, Cookies, slap the glass at least.
Crawford lays it home, his second fast break opportunity. And no one's more pumped than the number 9 in green.
They've done it all game, Liam, as a collective. The defensive intensity. Yes, they gave up a few runs to Adelaide. But overall, they've been trustworthy on the defensive end of the floor.
Been a great afternoon for the Jack Jumpers. Difficult one for 36ers fans. Become accustomed to success of recent times. And Jacob Richards coming in for his first appearance of the season. Young Tasmanian product.
I've never heard the Jacob Richards music. Let's see what it sounds like.
For the first time suiting up, and he gets a little burn.
Good on him. One of their DPs.
Cool.
He's going to have a go straight away. A little bit strong, maybe a bit too juiced up to get out there. Always nice to see a youngster get their opportunity at the top level, and Tassie fans especially. Love the fact when he's a local, the 22-year-old. Here's Drimmick floating his way inside.
It's just been a methodical Jackie win. Tassie came out with the required effort, with the required energy, set the tone from the opening tip, and went on with the job.
Trey Cal looking for a way through the defense again. He's been terrific all game. Can't get it done. 3 seasons in the competition for the Jackies. They've never scored more than 107. The percentage so crucial. You know they're going to take the opportunity to get another bucket. Bogdanovic had it poked away.
And even though Liam and obviously the 36ers could be this is it for them, this does not in any way detract or deter from what Scott Nennis has done. This game does not factor into the decision that Adelaide management needs to make, in my opinion.
They won't make until after the season. As Lockie Barker racks up 109 for the Jackies, the highest score in franchise history. Another time past 100. It's been a terrific afternoon for them. Galloway can't hit. And Tassie have really made a statement this afternoon. Another big win for the Jack Jumpers. And they put an effective end to the run of the Adelaide 36ers, who might have seen their season slip away. Jackies get it done, 109 to 86.
Outstanding performance. from Scott Roth and Tasmania this game, but really across the round. The win in Far North Queensland, very, very professional, and then they come in and they get the job done at a high level today. Pile on the points. As you say, a franchise high total. Defended the island in typical fashion and dealt killer blows to both Cairns and Adelaide along the way.
And strengthened their own position in doing so. 14 wins now. They've got that third spot. They've got a really healthy percentage of 106. So they're going to be tough to knock off from hosting that seeding qualifier matchup in third position.
They will. Scott Roth said not only a week ago about they had mastered the art of inconsistency, but this is when they are on their game, when they are switched on both ends of the floor, this is what you got to deal with.
They're at Southeast Melbourne. They finish with Perth at home for the Adelaide 36ers. It's a trip to Brisbane next week before Adelaide at home on the final day of the season.
I love the way they shared the ball and everybody got involved. 7 different guys with 9 or more points. Score 109 and only one guy in the 20s. So Jack McVeigh, he was that guy. He had a team high 26, but everybody got a touch, everybody got a look, and they defended as a team, they scored as a team, they won as a team.
Equals second highest output of Jack McVeigh's career, and of course for the 36ers, it was always going to be tough. It's an unsustainable way to play the catch-up the way they did, and they just ran out of petrol tickets today, going down by 23. Big performance from the Jackies, none more so than this man. Milton Doyle is with Kelsey Brown.
Milton, you stacked the stat sheet this weekend. Round 18, you've had 2 double-doubles, finishing the game with 17 points and 10 assists. That's a career high for you. That's a career high for you. How are you feeling out there tonight?
Tired today, but feel great. Getting a win in front of this crowd, especially the way we did it, with everybody contributing. We got our guys on our court that's from Tassie, so it's always fun.
Jack McVeigh had a lot of energy tonight. I feel like he was extra up and about. How do you feel having him on your team?
It's great. I think he's the best Australian scorer in the league. I think he's one of the best players in the league also, so having him on our team, giving us energy, that's what we need.
109 points is a high for the Tassie JackJumpers. How impressive is it to do it in front of a crowd like this tonight?
I can't even hear him, I can't even hear myself talk now, so the energy from this crowd always helps us out. It's the sixth man for our team.
They were incredibly impressive tonight. You were also impressive. All the best for the rest of the rounds, and good luck for finals.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Milton Doyle, a star performance, the Foot Locker player of the game. 23-point win for the JackJumpers, and he's had some form struggles. He's had, of course, some personal issues to deal with in recent months, but he's come out the other side of that, and he is back.
And one thing, Milton Doyle, scoring doesn't define him. That's the beauty of Milton Doyle. Yes, he can score, but he can also facilitate. He can rebound. He can defend. So he's that great team player that just happens to be a very potent scorer. And when he's on his game, like, forget about it. We were talking about him as an MVP candidate early in the season. When he's at his best, he's an MVP candidate. When he's average, he's just a super good player, Liam.
He's had a tough year off the floor, and as a result, his form took a hit, but my goodness, is he back in action right now.
From a postseason perspective, I mean, how many closers have Tassie got? They've got Doyle, they've got Crawford, they've got McVeigh. They can throw so many players at you in those big moments.
Yeah, but the fact is they're not actually focused on one guy. This is the beauty of them in crunch time. They just continue to execute their stuff.
So let's have a look at the standings after that one. Tassie 14 and 12. You can see that really healthy percentage that they've got of 106.4, second only to Melbourne United on the season, and Adelaide back down to 9th. They've got the 15 losses. It looks like 13 plus a good percentage will get you in, and you can see the deficit to the likes of Illawarra, Sydney and New Zealand. Big win for the Tassie JackJumpers. We'll wrap it all up and be joined by Jack McVeigh next.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Jack McVeigh turned in a big performance this afternoon. So did the Tasmania JackJumpers. They franchise-high 109 points as they beat Adelaide by 23 to solidify third place. And it was a very big performance and one that they enjoyed, as did the fans at My State Bank Arena. Joel Peterson, Damon Lowry, Liam Santamaria with you. Great to have your company on this Sunday. First leg of a doubleheader, Perth and New Zealand, not too far away out west. Let's take a look at our Hungry Jacks highlights. And the way that Tassie got this done today was all offensive execution. They were absolutely brilliant.
They set the tone early. This man right here started everything, and they just followed. And like we said earlier, this is an efficient unit. They don't take bad shots. They have a style, a system that they trust and believe in, and that's what helps them become so efficient. And when they're like that on both ends of the floor, Liam, so hard to beat.
And within that system, a couple of guys in particular, Milton Dorr with the 17 points and 10 assists, and of course our man Jack McVeigh with the season-high 26 points. And when those guys got together and they ran that ball screen action in that second quarter, it tore Adelaide apart. But collectively, at the defensive end, that was what got things going. But they were lights out all night long and everybody got involved.
So big game for the JackJumpers, a big win, a big performance from Jack McVeigh. 26 points. We saw him in the Hungry Jacks highlights and he's been good enough to jump on the cans and join us post-game. Jack, 109 points, big game, big crowd. How much fun was that?
Oh, that was the games you live for. I mean, we're getting down to that stretch where it feels like playoff basketball. The crowd's bringing that energy, and that was a fun basketball game.
Jack, I want to ask you about your season high and your scorching 76% you shot at, but I know you like to talk about other guys more than yourself. Milton Dorr, mate, 17 points and 10 assists after what he did in Cairns the other night.
Oh, Milton's a beast. I mean, cool, calm, collected, a.k.a. one of the best international scorers. He's been doing it for a long time. You don't know if he's got 2 points or he's got 30. He just does what he does.
Jackson, great game, man. Me and Lynn were talking earlier. We're trying to put into words what the Jackie way actually is. So can you, and for all the listeners out there, can you define the Jackie way?
I mean, you know what they say? It's like, that's crazy, Drim. That's JackJumpers culture right there, Drim. But nah, you know, it's that secret sauce. You got to be a part of it to know. I can't tell all those secrets, you know, the special herbs and spices. But hey, we're having fun. We get guys that buy in and we bring in good character men, and that's the most important part.
It's certainly good fun. It's good fun for your fans. It was good fun at the end. We saw Jacob Richards get his first opportunity. Just couldn't quite nail that three-pointer. But even, you know, we see players constantly keep stepping up from this JackJumpers lineup. The bench players, Clint Steindl comes in. He has an impact. Sean McDonald's been doing it all season. That depth, we talk about it with other teams, but it's definitely there with your lineup too.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we like to think that we train the hardest, and when you're training hard every single day, guys are going to improve, and that's what we do. Guys are feeling ready, they're in game shape, and they step in knowing exactly what they need to do to help us win games.
Jack, you guys have been a little up and down in terms of just closing out games. This was your first time going back-to-back wins since early December, but Damon and I were talking about during the broadcast about when you guys get into a playoff series, you wipe the slate clean and you go from there. What's your mentality about what you guys might be able to do in the postseason?
I mean, there's some things we need to clean up for sure, and as a club, if it's smooth sailing the whole time, that's not preparing you for playoff basketball, but we back ourselves in. I think this year is one of the best years in terms of anyone can win that whole thing, so that's what everyone's chasing for.
Jack, physicality has been a talking point throughout the league over the last couple of rounds. Where do you guys stand on physicality? When to be too physical? Do you think you're being manhandled? Blah, blah, blah. Where do you guys stand on that?
I mean, have you looked at these bad boys? you know I love the physical game. But hey, as long as I can get to my 1 foot fadeaway, I'm having a good time.
Almost a career best for you today, Jack, with 26. What does the recovery look like? We're deep into the season. There's some sore bodies. We know the likes of Will Magnay. Hopefully you pulled up a little better than he did after that Cairns win. But what does the recovery look like for you from here?
I mean, it's easy down here in Tassie. The beach water is cold, so we're going to go for a dip tomorrow. Enjoy that and, you know, take some big breaths with a single game next weekend. Whew, you got to look after the body at this time of the year.
Well, it's a beautiful body it is, Jack. You gave us the double cobra at one point. You gave everybody the gun show. How are you finding the atmosphere there, man? Because you love to play to the crowd. You, Jordan Crawford, Scott Roth at times, and there is a good chance you're going to host that seeding qualifier, that 3 versus 4 game.
I mean, that's what we're chasing for. The reality of the game is that there's no professional basketball without the fans. I mean, when I was 5 years old, hitting game winners in my backyard, I was doing that in front of thousands of people. So that's what I live for. That's what I work for. And to do it out here with, you know, a group of fans that brings the energy they does, man, living the dream.
I'm pretty sure we got the double cobber about a minute into the game as well. It was the first bucket, and yes, very good going, Jack. Hey, congratulations on your performance and that of the team. All the very best for everything that's to come as we head toward the postseason.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Jack McVeigh's always good fun. He's always good energy, and he brought it today in spades.
From the very start, he knew what this game was about. This is about playing playoff basketball. He got himself going early. He's knocking his shots down. He got on the glass, and he's finishing. He can score from all 3 levels, inside, mid-range, and from the 3 ball. And when he's out and about, up and about like that, this team kind of feeds off of his energy, Liam.
He's so fundamentally sound. As you say, he can give it to you in a variety of ways. The pick and pop was deadly today, and they went to it in a variety of different ways. When he was younger, he was a little erratic. He had too much energy and he didn't know how to channel it. Scott Roth has calmed him down. Now he's patient, like we talked about during the game, and he's very, very highly productive.
When he was, of course, with the 36ers, he'd come in for bursts and he just couldn't put it together, but he has in Tassie colours. Coming up next, of course, the jersey retirement for Damien Martin adds a little bit of a layer to this one, but it is a rivalry that needs no layers added. Perth and New Zealand. That is going to be a very tasty end to the afternoon to close out round 18. Zylan Cheatham, Christian Doolittle. That'll be a fun battle. Will McDowell-White, we know what he can bring to the table. And Jordan Usher. I reckon Jordan Usher, in front of that home crowd, he could be set for a big performance today.
He's a different guy sometimes. When you catch him at home, Jordan Usher, he knows how to put the ball in the hole, and especially with all the contact and all the attention that Bryce Cotton draws, Jordan Usher can step up in that space.
Who wins it?
Kiwis, New Zealand Breakers, this one.
Liam?
I think New Zealand as well. Upset in the jungle.
Well, I'm going to keep Damien Martin happy, and I'm just going to say that the Perth Wildcats will get the chocolates this afternoon. That is still to come to close out round 18 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Today, though, a big win to the Tassie JackJumpers. 23 points. They solidify 3rd place. They've effectively ended the season of the 36ers. Perth and New Zealand is next. Stick around from RAC Arena.